Hello, welcome to TRDR.tv. My name is Robert Sievers. Today we're here with a special guest, Phil Davis, the founder of PhilStockWorld.com. How are you doing today, Phil?
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Doing well. Yeah, how are you doing today? Everything's going well. Stock markets look like they're coming down a little bit.
Well, that's going well for us because we actually bet it short this morning.
Okay, so you guys are doing well.
Yeah, we bet
Um,
future shorts.
so you ready to go ahead and get started with the interview?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So my first question is, what did you do professionally before you started the website PhilStockWorld.com?
Before Phil Stockworld, I used to own a company that was called AccuSearch. It was a real estate data service,
Okay.
and we sold that. I sold that a little bit before. In fact, speaking of good timing, we sold it right before the market crash in real estate. So we got top dollar and got the hell out,
So,
and, and I retired. So basically just knocked around trading.
no, that's perfect. I mean, that kind of like I bet you helped you really move into the financial markets. You buy low, sell high. That was the perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've always been good with market timing. I used to trade before I got into the business, but then I
Okay.
stopped trading because the business took up all my time. And then cashing, when I retired, I was like, get back to trading, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, well, my next question was going to be, how did this help you prepare for day trading and day trading education? But I mean, it sounds like you already did some day trading and stuff before you even began this company in the first place. So my question is, when did you first get involved or interested in the financial markets?
Oh God, I'd say when I was about seven.
Wow.
My grandfather was an investor, and
Okay.
my job when I was a kid was to go through the paper. Back then, you only used to get the paper on Sundays. There were no stocks during the week. On Sunday, stocks. That was the only time you ever found out what the stock market was doing. Was on Sunday. They
I
would print it
can't
up,
even imagine.
and and it would just be what they open and close for the week would be there. And my job as a 7-year-old was to go through all the stocks, and there was thousands of them, and circle all the ones that made new highs or new lows.
Okay.
And then my grandfather would then pick it up. We'd look at that, and then we try to find out like some news to figure out why they were doing that. And then my grandfather would discuss with me. He always treated me like an adult. He'd always be like, well. Oh, he goes, okay, we see what's going on here is because there's a war over here, and the shipping lanes are blocked up, and that's causing the grain prices to go up. So he would always explain to me exactly why he was going to make an investment and what it meant. But it
So
was based on that, starting with the research to find the weaknesses and strengths that you wanted to look at, and then figure out the fundamental reasons that were driving them.
so your grandfather got you started out real young. He got you hooked at a
He
young
got me
age.
started young, and also his perspective as a longtime investor. He was born in 1906, and his experience as a longtime investor gave helped me get a perspective of a long-term investor, that I understood the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of the market. I mean, I got that before I got. In fact, that the good thing is I got that kind of education before I got screwed up by teachers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seems like that's kind of happening a lot these days with with teachers kind of throwing a couple of their biases around. So it's nice to hear that you got a little bit of actual education from your grandparents, or grandfather at least, who's looking out for your best interest 100%.
Mhm.
But yeah, my next question is, what kind of financial assets do you typically trade?
Generally, we're basically long-term investors. We're not day traders, but we're famous for day trading because we trade a lot of futures contracts. Because frankly, the long-term stuff we do is extremely boring. And basically, it's just we do a lot of set and forget kind of trades where we set
Okay.
them up and we don't look at them for 2 years. They're not, like they just
Wow.
take care of themselves. We do a lot of self-hedge trades. A lot of we have different portfolios that we have a short-term portfolio which we will trade, but the long-term portfolio is almost all bullish, and the short-term portfolio protects it. It's got our bearish trades in it.
Okay.
Um, but in the long-term portfolio, basically, if we touch it once a month, that's a lot.
Oh
To
wow.
touch that portfolio, it's basically a retirement type portfolio.
Okay.
So those are our main trades, and then the rest of it is like watching paint dry, though. So during the days, we like to play around and do the futures trading and some short-term opportunity trades.
That's understandable. And then, so do you teach both of these kind of things on PhilStockWorld.com as well, or is this just personally for you?
No, no, we teach it. That's exactly what we do. We're an
Okay.
educational site, and we
Okay.
teach people how to trade, and when I say people, I mean like hedge fund managers and people like that. Also, not just, we're not low end. We're not options 101 or anything like that.
Okay.
We teach people who have a basic understanding of options and futures and stocks how to hedge properly and how to take advantage of market misprices.
So yeah, my next question was going to be kind of what level of students you typically teach. I mean, I guess we kind of answered that right there. So do you just typically go for more of like intermediate and advanced people who are working professionally and less personally, or do you do kind of a little bit of everything as well?
Well, I mean, most of it. Well, look, in the chat room, we
Okay.
have we have several levels of membership. Okay, we have basic memberships and introductory memberships where people can get a hang of what's going on and learn from the high level traders.
Mm-hmm.
But in our premium chat room, it's basically high net worth investors, and we even have an institutional trading section, but that's way up there. That's like people managing huge amounts of money.
Okay.
As far as our typical people in the premium basic memberships, those guys are generally high net worth investors, people who trade, half a million or more in their portfolios. Could be 50 million, but probably at least a half a million dollars that they're trading actively. And typically, our guys are people who they'll check in at least once a week or so and ask a few questions and minding their portfolio, checking on their positions, asking about whether or not this or that setup is good or bad, how to adjust a trade if it's going the wrong way.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the couple of trading strategies that you teach?
Sure. Look, the overall theme that we teach people is something called being the house. So we teach people to be the house and not the gambler.
Okay.
And what that really means is that we teach people to take the other side of the transaction. So I'm sure you've heard that 90% of all options expire worthless, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a typical thing that everybody knows about options. So therefore they say, oh, I shouldn't trade options. But what we explain to people is we say, look, there's somebody on the other side of that 90%. Okay, there's somebody selling those options and collecting the 90%, and there's nothing in the market that stops you from being the seller of those options.
Okay.
So we teach people how to take the broker's position and become the seller of options. So basically we try to pick up a stock or a bull call spread as an asset.
Okay.
Okay, so that becomes our asset base, and from that asset base, we will then sell premium to other people over time,
All right.
and that premium has a very high chance of expiring worthless, so we collect it as a rent on the property that we pick up in the long run. It's a very
Understood.
effective system.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a very effective system. Is it mostly then just typically the options then that you're teaching to the students?
We have stocks, we have options, we have futures, but of course stocks is just look. We make tons of picks, and obviously if we like an option on a stock, we like the stock.
Of
So it's
course,
the same
of
pick.
course.
It's just very boring on the stocks.
Yeah.
Obviously, I yell at people if they just trade stocks. I'm like, why don't you trade options? First of all, another great strategy, second most important strategy we have, is teaching people how to buy every stock at a discount, and that's the simplest thing in the world that people, for whatever reason, do not do. Is simply, if you want to buy a stock, instead of buying the stock straight up, you sell a put against the stock.
Okay.
That way, you collect money up front, and if the stock goes lower, you've got a cushion, and if the stock goes higher, you don't get the stock, but you collect the money that you sold up front for free.
Okay.
You never have to pay to own the stock. Another great way to get started, you can discount 15 to 20% of all the stocks you buy using that system.
Wow.
Nobody does it.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
I said nobody does it. It blows my mind. It really does.
That's definitely something that I'm gonna have to personally check out. I mean, it sounds a little bit almost too believable or too good to believe. So,
Would you like an example?
of course.
Pick a stock. Who do you like? Who are you thinking of buying?
Right now, let's see. I mean, I've been looking at Nvidia, but right now it's obviously chasing because it's going way, way too high. I was looking at it at like, I don't know, 30, but now it's I think 35, 34.
All right, good example. All right, I wanted you to pick it because I want people to understand you can do this with every single stock on the market. Okay. Nvidia is now, like you said, at 35. You wish you had bought it at 30, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Now the $35 put, the 2018 $35 put
Mm-hmm.
is $6. So you can sell that put for $6.
Okay.
That put obligates you to buy Nvidia for 35. but you collect $6 up front for making that promise.
Okay.
That means your net entry on NVIDIA is $39. But if NVIDIA is over $35, you don't get to buy the stock, but you do get to keep the $6.
Okay.
So that's 20% you're collecting up front, and you never have to buy the stock. And if it go as long as NVIDIA doesn't even have to go up $5, it only has to be over 35, and you make your $6.
Wow.
And your worst case is owning it at 29.
Well, I think I'm definitely gonna have to check out your site and get a little bit more information on this.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, of course. No,
So you didn't miss anything.
that's a beautiful thing right there. I mean, well, do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the features that you have on philstockworld.com? I mean, I saw that there's a couple different membership plans that they have. I mean, there's a couple different nice features that you guys have going. Is there anything in particular that you kind of wanted to highlight today?
I wasn't thinking about it, but if you want to look, basically, here's what we have. We have a report membership. The report membership gives you our immediate access to our daily posts. So first thing in the morning before the market opens, you get my market overview that I do for all of our members. In that, we have certain trades and trade ideas. Like this morning, we said short the S&P at 2070. This morning, we said short oil at $47. Both of those trades have made $500, $1,000 so far. Those are futures trades.
Okay.
We set up hedges. We had an SDS hedge that we were talking about this morning. We posted it before. That's been weighing the money. We did the short on the NASDAQ, and that's weighing the money thanks to Apple. We did that, in fact, right the day of Apple earnings. We shorted the NASDAQ using the ultra short SQQQ, and that paid off like 500, 600% or something like that on the short. Wow. Because we set up, a nice option spread that we set it up to take advantage of the drop. And we're not overall long-term bearish. In fact, we're buying the crap out of Apple right now. It's hitting 92 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, look at that. Wait, 91. So Apple's at 91. This is our buy point for us. And doing the same thing with the short puts. This is what we're doing with Apple. So our net effective entry price is down around $80. So that's just our report membership. That's our lowest level membership. Then above that, we have a Trend Watcher membership, and that lets you view our chat room. It doesn't let you talk. It doesn't let you participate and speak in the chat room. That's for the higher level members.
Okay.
But you can see what the members are chatting about and hear the conversations and see us all day long discussing the market as it turns.
Okay.
Then when you get to the higher level memberships, basic and premium, there you get to actually participate in the chat room. You get all of our trades. You get access to all of our portfolios, and it's wild. I'm telling you. I mean, you'd find anybody can find out from watching the Trend Watcher membership, but it's a really exciting way to spend your day in the markets.
And so, is it you that creates all of the content for philstockworld.com, or do you have a team that helps you out?
We have a bunch of authors.
Okay.
We have other authors besides me. I'm just happen to be the headline guy.
Okay.
And we have in fact for day trading, you might want to talk to OpTrader at some point. He's a swing trader, and he trades lively all day long, like back and forth, picks up all the little momentum trades and things like that. Which is one of the reasons I don't have to bother with it, frankly, because he takes care of all that. Anybody who wants to trade like that can go talk to him, and I get to concentrate on the macro picture, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think that as far as today, I think that's the majority of the time that we have today, Phil. I need to go, and I need to go actually check out your website and get a little bit more information on the options trading. So, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today before we go?
Not particularly. I mean, I guess if I'm going to talk about the site, I just want to mention the fact that we're not option strategists. We're not technical traders. We are fundamental investors who use options for leverage and for hedging.
Okay.
It's a very different thing, okay? We're taking advantage of other people's greed and making money by selling them options premium. It's a very different strategy than what I don't know anybody else who's doing it.
Yeah, I haven't really heard of very many people, I don't think, doing things similar as well. Maybe actually one other person that I've interviewed, I think actually maybe Jeremy Newsome was doing something similar. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming in today, and I look forward to checking out your website and doing some research on Phil Stockworld.
Oh, fantastic. Very nice talking to you.
Thank you very much, Phil. Have a nice day.
You too.
All right, that was Phil Davis from philstockworld.com. He's the founder, and he gave us a nice little bit of information about the site today. So I highly recommend that you go check it out. I know that I'm going to. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us on Trader TV. Have a nice day and good luck with your trades.